What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Juicy Jet Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Rooney, and I am here for a pre-game podcast because the New York Jets have another game on Thursday Night Football. The New York Jets versus a division rival, the red-hot New England Patriots, up in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Thursday night, 8:15, Amazon Prime. It's our final primetime game of the year. We've only had two this year. So, unfortunately for all of America, you get to watch the high-powered offense of the New York Jets. And, I'm headed up there. So I'm actually recording this episode on Tuesday night. So there's a lot that can happen between now and Thursday. So I apologize if anything comes out news-wise about our starting quarterback, about injuries, things like that I may miss. Just because I got to fly up to New England. I got my flight tomorrow night, so Wednesday night. And then, of course, obviously, I got to work, and then I got to actually go to the game. So not a lot of time to podcast. So we're doing this on Tuesday. But there's a lot to talk about because, obviously, this is our most hated rival. This is a team that we have had many memorable games against and many games that I have wanted to forget against this team, as the New England Patriots have tortured us for like 25 years. And we got a lot to talk about because there's drama left and right between the Vrabel, the Drake May, all the stuff that we got going on. And then, of course, we'll talk about news and notes that we got going into this game. We'll talk about matchups to watch. I'll give you my 3 keys to a Jets victory. And then finally wrap it up with a little prediction here. So let me just tell you a little bit about what I'm doing here. So for me, as you know, I go to every single home and away game. This one was going to be a little tough for me. I'm not going to lie, I don't like going to New England. It is a house of horrors. It's the same as going to Miami. We never, ever win there. The one time, I've gone to many games in New England. For those of you that don't know, I went to college in New England. I went to college in Boston. I went to Northeastern University. So I would go when I was there. And unfortunately, while I was in college, every single every single Boston-based sports team won a championship while I was there. The Patriots won twice, the Bruins won, the Red Sox won, and the Celtics won. Unbelievable. So I was just constantly tortured while I was up there. Luckily, I don't have hate for the Red Sox, so that one was a little bit fun. But the rest of it was just torture, absolute torture. So, every time I go there, I lose. And the fans just treat you like dirt every time you're there. Even the one time that I actually saw a win, I had to leave early, and it's this game right behind me. It was the game late in the year, Bill Belichick's last game as the head coach of the New England Patriots. Remember, the Jets killed Bill, kicked him out of the NFL. Don't forget that. Don't let a Patriot fan forget that. But in that game, it was a massive snowstorm. Me and my roommate from college, Matt, who's been on the podcast before, were at the game, and the entire time, we are just getting... Actually, I wouldn't even say we're getting pelted. People are attempting to pelt us with snowballs. They're just hitting Patriot fans all around them and not hitting us. But it got to the point where it was kind of dangerous that we thought we were going to get hurt because people were like throwing ice balls and stuff. So eventually, late into the fourth quarter, we got the heck out of there because we thought it was trouble and the Jets were starting to run away with it. But Breece Hall had a heck of a game in that one. So we're hoping we can recreate that in this game. But yeah, I've had some very, very bad memories from being in New England. And you know what? I just can't stay away. I'm waiting for that one. I think this would be a really cool one to tear down all their hopes and dreams, but we'll get to that when I get to my game predictions. So let's talk about some news and notes for this game. Obviously, the big news out of the New York Jets is Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson sprains his knee. According to Rich Cimini, he's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks, or I think it was 3 weeks or more, he said, which means who knows how long he's actually going to be out. My thing is I want him healthy, so rest up, relax, get back in good shape. If we want to shut you down until next year, we'll shut you down until next year. I don't really need to see him. And I think it's a good opportunity to see some of the younger receivers that we have. You know, I want to see Adonai Mitchell. I want to see him play. I want to see John Mechie play a little bit more besides that one ridiculous end around we tried where we lost like 7 yards last game. I definitely don't want to see Alan Lazard, but I want to see some of the other guys, you know. So yeah, like Arian Smith. I want to see Isaiah Williams get some more play. I want to see Tyler Johnson out there. So we'll see how that all goes. But losing Garrett Wilson really sucks, but I want him to get healthy. So let him rest, relax. This is a short week. We shouldn't really push people to play anyway if you're hurt, and then you get the 10 days off afterward to rest up for Baltimore. So we'll see what happens with Garrett, but I hope he feels better because, man, that guy's is fun to watch, and it's really sad that we've won 2 games without him because he's a guy who deserves to win more than anybody on this team right now. So that's the big news. Another one that's a little bit sneaky is Harrison Phillips has missed practice the past 2 days. One of them was just a walkthrough, so not a real practice. I don't think they're doing any real practicing this week just because we have a game on Thursday. But that one makes me a little bit nervous. Without Quinnen, he's a guy that we really need, and Travion Henderson is starting to pick it up a little bit with that run game. I don't know if Ramondre Stevenson's going to play. He's also questionable. But I want our big uglies in the middle, with Jawan Briggs, with now Mozzie Smith, and then, of course, Harrison Phillips. We need Phillips, so that would really suck to lose him. I heard he was in a boot today. Hopefully it's precautionary just so he doesn't bang it up even more and he can get out there and suck it up for a couple hours. But, man, that would be a tough loss. So, and then I think you'd probably pull up like a Peyton Page or something like that. Jay Tefele hopefully can play because, that would be a tough loss. So those are probably the 2 big things. The third one, obviously, this is one that we'll never get an answer to, but Aaron Glenn keeps getting asked about who the starting quarterback is going to be, and he won't say anything. I really, not going to lie, I have no idea what they're going to do. Like I said, I'm recording this on Tuesday night. Maybe we'll have a hint on what they're going to do Wednesday night, but I'm not sure. I think for me, if I was the Jets, this offense is just so anemic. Justin Fields does this where he all of a sudden cannot throw and he has no idea how to read a defense. He forgets how to run. He loses all confidence. And that's how you go 6 for 11 with only 2 passes completed past the line of scrimmage. So I would probably play Tyrod so you could see what you have in some of these receivers. So you can see what you have in A.D. Mitchell and John Mechie because you're not doing them any favors by them sitting out. Like same with Mason Taylor. I can't even see him play well because Justin Fields can't get him the ball. But I understand that because this is a short week, you don't want to entirely flip the script without practicing. I don't think there's a lot of time to get things together by putting in Tyrod. But if you do go with Fields, short leash. If he is not moving the ball and you see he doesn't have it in those first couple series, I think you just flip it and you just go right to Tyrod because I don't think anyone's going to be able to watch this if he has another game where he's going, 1 for 12 for negative 15 yards in the first half or whatever it might be. Just can't have it. This is 2025. It's the NFL. Either get some consistency or you got to sit down and figure it out. So, that's my stance. Either way, I don't think our offense is going to be this high-powered machine, but I just want to give our players a chance to show what they can do with, with someone who can actually throw them and get them the ball. So that's my thought on quarterback. We'll see. Now, going into this game, there is a lot of, there's just a lot of things in the background that you always think about with Jets Patriots. And I think the big one is this offseason, obviously the Jets, probably the front runner for their head coaching job was Mike Vrabel. It's probably the person they wanted most. I won't go to the length of saying Vrabel used the Jets to kind of get the Patriots into gear, fire their coach, and then hire him. But he might have, and honestly, I would do the same thing if I was in his shoes. He's a Patriot for life, essentially. So, why would he not go back there and coach that team? It was the perfect fit for him. But I didn't know if they were actually going to fire their coach. So for us, I got excited. I was like, dang, are we actually going to get Mike Vrabel here? That's going to be a great pick for us. He was the number 1 coach that I wanted just because he had the experience and all that stuff. And look at the way he's changed his team in just a few short weeks. They go from one of the bottom seller teams in the NFL to now the best team in the AFC East. They're on a 7-game win streak. They're on fire. So he's just the kind of guy who can turn a culture real quick and make things happen. And the team respects him because he's a former player who's done it before and he's won before. So really good for Vrabel, but I freaking hate the Patriots. So I hope we kind of put him in his place and have a little wake-up call. But I don't know. I can't trust the Jets right now. I just really can't. I have no idea what team is going to come out and play. So I think that's one of the big stories. And Aaron Glenn, I thought, did an interesting job of talking about Vrabel and the Patriots and how they went about their offseason, because that's a team who went from nothing to something really quickly, and luckily they had the quarterback. But I think it was like a wink to himself, to Woody, and to Muji that, hey, we got to spend some money next year because that's what the Patriots did to get their team back to a good place, and then that quarterback took the next step to really get them to be, one of the best teams in the NFL. Now, I do want to say this. Number one, props to Drake May. He is playing unbelievable. Look at his stats for this year. He has a 71% completion percentage, 2,500 yards passing, 19 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and 113.9 passer rating. I would murder people for a quarterback that could do something like that. And I'm so mad. I am so mad. The Patriots should have been shitty for such a long time. They went 25 years on the most miraculous run, or maybe 20 years on the most miraculous run of all time that you may never see again in any sport ever. And then they were bad for like 5 minutes, and then they got another quarterback who's now in the front runner for MVP. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How come I got to deal with this all the time? I keep losing, and then this team just turns around and boom, wins. Oh, it drives me nuts. Freaking Robert Kraft. I'm so sick of this team. But man, Drake May is really good. He's really, really good. So I think it's going to be a big challenge to try to stop him. Losing a Quinnen, losing a Sauce, players like that, seeing who's going to be able to play on Thursday night, it's going to be interesting. I think the linebackers have to play really well. Need a big game out of Quincy. Need a big game out of Jamie and Sherwood. I think Will McDonald needs to recreate whatever the hell he just did on Sunday with those 4 sacks. Same thing with Jermaine Johnson. Because otherwise I think, Jarvis Brownlee's going to have a better game because, man, Drake May is really good, and we got to figure out a way to stop him and the way he distributes the ball to multiple receivers. Like, Stephon Diggs is probably his best guy right now, but he's throwing the ball all over the place. Multiple receivers are stacking up yards. So it's going to be interesting, too. They have a lot of injuries, so I don't know who's actually going to start. But as long as they have Drake May, I feel like they're in a good spot. So I think that's a major matchup to watch. It's the Jets defense versus Drake May. How is that going to go, and how are we going to stop him? I think that's the big question that's going to keep Aaron Glenn and Steve Wilkes up all night. And I don't think Azareye'h Thomas is going to play. So once again, we're filling in another cornerback to replace him. So we're down our top 2 of the top 3 corners. We've gotten rid of Sauce, Michael Carter, and we're down Azareye'h Thomas. So going to be a tough challenge for sure. This is a totally different caliber opponent than the last 2 that we just played and won against. So I think that's a big matchup. Number 2, their run defense is really, really good. I don't think they've let up a 50-yard rusher this entire year. And on our side, Breece Hall is the hottest of hot players that you could possibly have right now. I think he's got 3 touchdowns and a few hundred yards over the past 3 games. So, Breece is heating up. So the big question is, how are we going to approach this? Are we going to try to actually bully them with our offensive line? I don't know if that's going to work. So for me, I think the big matchup is, how do you get Breece Hall in space away from those really good defensive tackles and defensive ends that the Patriots have, to try to get him outside, maybe throw some passes to him? Because I think the Patriots, where they play really well, is stopping the run up the middle. I think a place where you can actually beat them is throwing to the running back in the flats, over the middle. I think that's where they struggle a little bit more. So, but, you're going to have to have good pass protection, all that kind of stuff if you want to do plays like that. So I think that part's going to be really interesting. But I'm expecting another big game from Breece, and hopefully we get one like this snow game that we had a couple of years ago. So I think that's a huge matchup to watch. For me, too, I have no idea who the quarterback is, like I said. But depending on who it is, actually not even depending, no matter who the quarterback is, I want to see these receivers get more involved. I feel like with only 6 receptions last week, and a couple of them were from Breece and Isaiah Davis, I want to see these receivers have a day. Same thing with Mason Taylor. Get involved in the game. Get open for our guys. And I get it. It's not easy because Justin Fields holds the ball way too long, and Tyrod Taylor is very pass happy. So he'll probably try to get you the ball. You just have to be aggressive to go get it. So I really want to see a big day out of guys like Tyler Johnson, A.D. Mitchell, if A.D. Mitchell can play, and then, of course, Mason Taylor. So we'll see how all that goes. I think a big edge that we have is in special teams. Our special teams is the best in the league right now. I think we just took first place after all the stuff that happened this past week. So Nick Folk, Austin McNamara, all of our returners, I think they got to be on their game because we got to be able to flip field position in the moments that we do get a chance to do so. So I think that's going to be a big matchup as well. You know we're going to punt. When we do punt, can we pin the Patriots back deep and force them to drive 90 yards down the field, 85 yards down the field, instead of them getting the ball to 30, 35, 40? So that could be really interesting. So I think and I think overall coaching is going to be a big matchup too. Like Vrabel is a better coach than Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn, can you not make any mistakes? And I think in the past couple of weeks, he's done a really good job of coaching up this team. I think he's made good decisions with timeouts, with challenges, with some play calls, especially with Engstrand. So I thought that was really good. That well-timed screen pass, that's going to be another big thing. Can we get more screen passes involved to the tight ends, to Andrew Beck, to other people? That was a freaking great play at a perfect time. So I think coaching is going to be a major part of this matchup. And, it's just like we used to play the Patriots, where it was always Bill Belichick had the upper hand because he was the better coach, and you had to do something crazy to actually beat him. A miracle would have to happen. So is that going to happen here? We'll see. So let me talk about some keys to victory. Now for me, I cannot believe, I am still in shock that the New York Jets do not have one interception this year. Not a single one. I think we're about to break a record for the most games to start a season in a row without an interception. Like I said last week, or in the earlier pod, one hit Jarvis Brownlee right in the face, and we still couldn't pick it off. So in this game, can we get one? If you want to win, you have to turn the football over. Can Drake May throw you one? And when he does, will you catch it? That's the big piece. Can you catch the ball? And who knows, maybe that means Jawan Briggs, Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald, someone like that, Amazi Smith. Get your hands up in the air to try to block one of these passes so we can tip the ball up in the air and make it an easier catch for us since we can't catch the line drives. So I think getting an interception is number one. Number two, we need Breece Hall. This is going to be a big number, so I don't know if it's going to happen, but like I said, this is a tough team to beat. So can we make it happen? Can Breece Hall have over 150 yards of all-purpose yards? Not just rushing, but rushing and receiving. Because like I said, rushing's going to be tough. They are a really tough team when it comes to defending the run. But can he get some yards out of the backfield? Can he catch some passes, things like that? If he can get over 150 yards, I think we'll be in a good spot in this game. And then finally, the last thing. This is the type of game, divisional opponent, Thursday night. Thursday nights are so weird. They're always so weird. Anything can happen on a Thursday night football game. You could get blown out. You can blow the other team out. You guys can battle 9-6 to the very end of the game, kind of like that Eagles Monday Night Football game we just saw. This game is so weird. Is there something in the playbook that you can dump out there that's special that can change the game? What that means is a fake punt, a fake field goal. Is there a trick play that we want to run? Is there something different and special that you haven't shown yet this year that you can show now? I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I'm not sure. But I'd like to see the Jets try. And if it doesn't work out, all right, we took a swing at a team that's way better than us. We stand almost no chance. I think we're 11-point underdogs, so no one's counting on us to win this game. And can you try? Can you make a play happen to switch the field? So for me, that was the three keys to the game, or keys to a victory. Get an interception, 150 all-purpose yards from Breece Hall, and then a trick play to get us either a score or to move the ball or whatever it might be. So those are my three keys. Obviously, they're long shot keys because I don't feel great. I do not feel great about this game. I have seen enough games in Foxborough to know that you should not just go in expecting to win, because it's probably not going to happen. So for my prediction, like I said, Thursday night football games are very weird. You really never know. Anything can happen. But unfortunately, I think we're going to come up just short because we're so deficient of talent right now. Without a Garrett, without Azaria Thomas, maybe without Harrison Phillips, I think it's going to be a really, really tough day for us to try to make things happen. But maybe you get lucky. Now, do I think we're going to get blown out? It could happen, but I'm not picking the Jets to get blown out. I think they've played a lot tougher. I think they've got a little more energy. I don't think they've made these critical mistakes that we saw earlier this year that were causing us to lose some of these games. So I feel like we're more of a normal team. We're not perfectly normal. Like, our offense still can't throw the ball, but we're getting better. The penalties are getting a little bit better. So I'm not picking a blowout. I think the Jets lose probably by about 10. So I'm going to go Patriots 27, Jets 17. Put up a good fight. It's not a blowout. It's a game where you're competing the whole time. But I think at the end of the day, the potential MVP, Drake May, makes enough plays to beat us out. So what I'm really looking for here is for us not to put up a dud on under the lights on Thursday Night Football with everybody watching. Don't be the embarrassing lol Jets where everyone can make fun of us and say same old Jets and all that kind of stuff. I want to leave the stadium with my head held high, even though I know I'm going to be getting ripped the whole time. So that's really what I'm looking for. Can we put together a good game on a short week against an opponent who's much more superior than you, where you're not embarrassed and you're walking out of there okay? So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm going to put out a lot more content as I get up to New England. I'm going to be with some of my college buddies, so it should be a really fun time. And we'll see how it goes, and I'll fly right back. You won't even know I'm gone. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Really appreciate it. You can follow me across all the platforms, so TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, JuicyJet25. If you can like, rate, subscribe, review, follow, whatever you need to do, that would be very helpful. And let's hope that the Jets prove me wrong. I really haven't picked them to win in a really long time. So let's see if they prove me wrong and can actually pull this one out and continue our winning streak from 2 games to 3 against a division opponent. We haven't beaten a division opponent all year in the New England Patriots, and kind of wake them up and say, hey, you're not as good as you thought you were. So we'll see how it goes. Go Jets, and I will talk to you all soon. See ya.